Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about percentages. Percentages again is something that you're familiar with. You've been doing it for years, probably since about 5th grade. You've been tested on it in SOLs, you just need to get it back in your head. These are things that you will be using a lot in chemistry. Alright? So what is percent? Well, think of a cent, think of a penny. There are 100 of them in a dollar. A penny is 100th of a dollar. So what is a percent? Well, a percent simply means it's out of 100. And that's an easy way to remember it because a cent or a penny is 100th of a dollar. All right, so that's all percent means. Percent means per means out of, and that's 100. So out of 100. All right. So what is 20%? Well, 20% you need to be able to convert to fractions. So 20% would be 20 out of 100. So you can write it exactly that way as a fraction, 20 out of 100, which is also 2 over 10, which is also 1 over 5. And you should already know that 1 over 5 is 0.2. All right. So we can also write this as 0.20 or 0.2, either way. All right. Because 1/5 is 0.2. So 20 cents is a fifth of a dollar. All right. And of course, if you get 20 cents 5 times, if I gave you 20 cents 5 times, you'd have a whole dollar. All right. So per cent, so long as it's under 100, 100% of something is the whole thing. If you're under that, then 20%, 30%, 40%, it's less than a whole. And if it's over 100, if it's 150%, that's more than 1. Okay. So we just said 20% is 20 over 100, and it can be represented as 0.20. All right. And we can. What did we do? Well, you can do the 20 divided by 100, or simply you can just move your implied decimal to 0.2 positions to the left, and hence we came up with 0.20. All right. So how do you do the math? Well, this is something you have to be familiar with and something that you should be very, very comfortable doing. If you're not, and if this video doesn't help you, please come see me and I'll work some problems with you to try and make sure that it makes sense to you. All right. What's 20% of $50? Well, 20% is 20 over 100. So I can take $50, I can multiply by 20, and I can divide by 100. If I do that, I get $10. Now, I also know that I can take this 20% that's up here and I can represent it as 0.2. All right. So if I represent it as 0.2, I can just take the $50 and I can multiply by 0.2 and I come out with $10. Whichever way for you is easier, I am perfectly fine with you doing it either way. All right, because you'll come up with the same answer either way. Right? You just need to be able to do it one of these two ways. All right. If I gave you 20% of a dollar, how much would you have? Well, clearly, if I gave you 20% of a dollar, I would give you 20 cents. And how much would I have left? Well, if I took away 20 cents out of a dollar, how much would you have left? You should be able to do that. You'd have 80 cents left. How'd you get there? You subtracted, right? You took a dollar, and you subtracted 20 cents, and you said, well, I'm left with 80 cents, right? That makes sense, right? So if I have 25 pieces of fruit and 40% are apples, the remainder are pears, how many apples do I have? Well, let's see, 40%. If I take 40%, I can represent 40% as 0.4. So I can take 25, and I can do this two ways. I can multiply by 40, and I can divide by 100. Sorry, 100. All right, and that gives me an answer. All right, now that's kind of hard to do in your head. All right, but that would be, I believe, 10 pieces of fruit. Another way to do it is to take 25 and I simply multiply by 0.4. All right, and again I will come up with 10 pieces of fruit. So how many apples do I have? Well, I have 10 apples. All right, the remainder are pears. So if I go on to my next question, it says how many pears do I have? Well, clearly the easiest way to do that is to say, well, didn't I just have 10 apples? Well, if I have 10 apples, I can simply take my 25 apples, my 25 pieces of fruit, and I subtract 10, and that gives me 15. So I should have 15 pears. I'll put pears over here. All right, so that's one way to do it. What's the other way to do it? Well, remember that 40% we're talking about out of 100. So if 40% are apples, I have 100%. And if 40% are apples, then the other 60% must be pears. Okay, well, 60%, I can take 25 pieces of fruit, and I can multiply by 60, and I can divide by 100. Talk to me, thank you. I can divide by 100, or I can take 25, and I can multiply by 0.6. Either way, these numbers will give me 15, which is my 15 pears. Right? You may do it either way. Right? Now, what's going on? You're having word problems. You're having to think. All right? That's what chemistry is all about. Chemistry is all about thinking and reasoning and logic. All right? It's not just, oh, I've got a formula, let's plug into it. You have to figure out which formula to plug into it. All right, let's look at this one. My daughter goes to a store to buy a shirt. It's normally $20, but today it's on sale for 25% off. So how much is the shirt today? All right. Well, if I start out, this is my original price. I have my original price, and I have to go through some process here to come up with my sale price over here. Right? So I have two ways of doing this. Right? I can say that the shirt normally costs $20, and it's on sale for 25% off, which is 0.25, right? Which is going to give me a total of $5. Now that does not mean my shirt costs, that my shirt costs $5. No, it doesn't, because that's the off price. So it would be 20 minus 5, which would give me $15, which is the current price of my shirt. I'm saving $5. That's the amount I have off. Could I do it a different way? I certainly could. I could say that I start with a $20 shirt, and it only costs me 75% of what I would expect it to. Well, where does 75 come from? Oh, well, remember that 75% plus 25% gives me a total of 100%. Percents are always out of 100. So I can simply subtract to see what's left. So 20 times 0.75 is going to give me $15 for the price of my shirt. Now you'll notice here, over here I did a subtraction. All right, and over here, to get from the 25 to the 0.75, I also had to do a subtraction. Either way, I'm doing a subtraction. Okay? So, the price of a dress is presently $40. However, the price is already 20% off. What was the original price? Uh-oh. That's a little bit more difficult. So let's review the process that we just did. Right? We talked about that we started with an original price, and somehow we got to a sale price. All right, well, notice what we did here. All right, here's our original price. Here's our sale price. And here was essentially the discounted percentage that we're paying. All right, so if I'm given the sale price and I'm given the discount, I should be able to calculate my original price. Now, this means we have algebra to work with. All right. So, if my original price times my discount, which in my case was 75%, I'm paying 75% of the original price, is giving me my sale price, all right? If I'm given my sale price and I'm given my discount and this is my unknown, I have to get my unknown all alone on one side. How do I do that? Well, that's algebra. So my original price is going to be my sale price divided by my discount. My sale price is $40. My discount, what's my discounted price? Well, my discounted price is 80%. All right? Very careful. It's not the 20%, it's 80%, because 20% is what you're not paying, 80% is still what you are paying. If you do the math, if you plug this into your calculator, or frankly, if you sit there and do long division, you will come up with $50 as the original price of the dress. Okay? And I just did all of that. Okay, so percentages are some portion out of a whole. I have 10 apples, but a total of 30 pieces of fruit. What is my percentage of apples? I'll give you a minute, see if you can do that. Pause the video, see if you can do that on your own. Okay, welcome back. You have 10 apples, You have 30 pieces of fruit. That's equal to 1/3, which is 0.333, and that repeats. So that's equal to 33 1/3%, or approximately 33% is apples. So you should be able to do that as well. These are all percentages. I'm simply reviewing stuff, just trying to get it back in your mind. I'm not necessarily reteaching it, but it's stuff that you should know how to do. If you do not know how to do it, you need to come see me. All right? You go to Famous Anthony's, the bill is $41. By the way, you will find out Famous Anthony's is my favorite place to eat. All right? The bill comes to $41. You want to leave a tip. See if you can do it. It's 20%. Do not pull out your cell phone. Do not use a tip calculator. See if you can figure out how much to leave. Okay? All right, welcome back. Did you really do it on your own? If you didn't, please pause the video and do it. It doesn't do any good to watch me. You need to do this on your own. All right, the bill's $41. All right, now I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I can tell you that if I have a bill of $41, all right, then 10% of that is going to be $4.10. I just moved the decimal point. I want to leave a 20% tip. That's $4.10 twice. That's $8.20. All right, $8.20 plus $41 is $49.20. What happens if I want to leave a 15% tip? Again, pause the video, see if you can do that. Okay, well I know that 10% is $4.10. 5% is half of that, so it's $2.05. Right, so that's $6.15. If I take that $6.15 and I add it to $41, you'll see that it is $47.15. Okay, guys, you should be able to do this, and frankly, you should be able to do it in your head without a calculator. All right, so this is stuff you should be able to do without a calculator, without tip stuff on your cell phone. You should be able to figure it out on your own. All right. You go to Food Line and you purchase $54 worth of groceries. You go take your receipt to Walmart. You purchase the identical groceries, and the bill's 5% less. What was the bill at Walmart? Pause the video, see if you can do it. Okay, my bill's 5% less. Well, 10% less would be $5.40. So that's $2.50. That's $2.70. So that would be 5% is $2.70. So I would save $2.70. So $54 minus $2.70 is $51.30. Okay, guys, if you're wondering, I am doing this live. I have not worked these problems before, so I'm sitting here just doing it live. You should be able to do that. This is math you should be able to do in your head without a calculator. I do not have a calculator. Okay? All right. You go to Kohl's and you discover the cost is 16% to buy a shirt. They tell you that this is 25% off the original price. See if you can do it. Again, without a calculator, give it a minute, pause the video, try and work it out on your own. Okay, welcome back. My original price times my discount is equal to my sale price. My sale price is $16. My discount is 0.75. I'm paying 75% of the price of the shirt. So what is the original price of my shirt? Well, it's 0.16. It's 16 divided by $16 divided by 0.75, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to give me $20 as the original price of the shirt. And if I'm saying, well, do I really believe that? Well, try it, guys. All right, $20 times 0.75. Well, what goes into 24 times? Well, 5 does, so 5, 10, 15. So that did not work. Okay, so that's not the right answer. All right, so now what you do is you pull out your trusty calculator and try it. Since my answer clearly was not right, the one I did in my head, so that's wrong. So we plug in 16 divided by 0.75, and what we come up with is 21.33, and that 33 goes on forever. So 21 1/3, all right, is going to be your correct answer. All right, clearly I hadn't done this before. All right. You go to the store prepared to purchase chocolate chips for $4, but you find out that today they only cost you $3.50. What is the discount? All right, see if you can figure it out. All right, welcome back. So our original price, where am I? There you are, thank you. Original price times my discount is going to be equal to my sale price. So my sale price is $3.50. My original price is $4. My discount is my unknown. So how do I get my discount all alone? Well, I divide both sides by 4. So my discount is equal to be $3.50 divided by 4. 350 divided by 4 is 35 divided by 40, which is equal to 7 over 8, if I did my math right. So that means 87.5%. So I'm paying 87.5% of what I normally would pay, so that means my discount is 12.5%. It's 12.5% off today. All right, it's your turn. Go off and work some problems on your own. Go off and try some. You have a worksheet, which you should be able to do, again, without a calculator, right? And then you should be able to take your test again and pass it. Okay? We'll see you in class. Have a good day.